It's the one we've all been waiting for, and it's finally here, the 2017 BMW Hong Kong Derby. It's been won by some of the greats to have ever graced the turf here at Sha Tin, and today another superstar will add their name to the honour roll of this race. The favourite for it is Rapid Dragon. He's done everything right so far. He goes into the race clearly the highest rated on 114 points. He's won the first two legs of the four-year-old series, and he'll try to win the third, the Derby, in 20 minutes' time. He's at $2 for the win, and if you've got the double going into him, $4.9 for the double, $5 for the estimated all-up win. Looking at the challenges, the shortest way home outside of Rapid Dragon is going into the 3, Pakistan Star, for the double at $17 for the double, and also for the all-up. Others in the market, $20 going into the 6, which is Gold Mount. $39 going into the 8, Booming Delight. And then others worth respecting, $33, as I said, going into the 4, which is Eagle Way. $55 going into Seasons Bloom. He's being placed in both the first and the second legs of this series. And also a bit of money coming for Limitless, $67 in the double for him. Composite win time for the winning trainer, John Moore, B1 with 6 in the race. He's at 1.4. Tony Cruz at 3.4 with Gold Mount, Pakistan Star, and Circuit Hassler. John Sizer's got 3 in it as well. Prawn Barber, My Darling, and Denozo. He's at $24. For the others, 6.3 there. Seasons Bloom, Danny Schum, Limitless, Peter Ho. 19 minutes off start time then. The anticipation building. There is number 4, Eagle Way, who's at 12 and 3.9. But the favourite is Rapid Dragon. Can he roar his way into history and take out the Derby after taking out the first 2 legs of the series? We're moments away from finding out. Let's go down to the paddock for the full build-up with the trackside team.
Some support during the day. He's at 7.7, and then we go out to 13 about Eagle Delight and Eagle Way, and Blooming Delight. They're the ones in the market at this stage.
Here we go though, Jenny. Eagle Way, that's where we start. One of 6 for John Moore.
Yep, this fellow is lovely and calm and relaxed, exactly how you'd want to be going into the Derby, that's for sure. He's a friendly sort of walker. He sort of takes the long strides here and there, but he looks really, really fit. He's nice and alert at the same time. He looks in really good shape. Whether or not he's quite good enough to beat the favourite, I've probably got my reservations there, but I don't think he could be presented any better than how he does here today.
Next one we can take a look at, Jenny, is Beauty Generation, another one who's got a slightly tricky draw to overcome.
Yeah, he certainly has, and I think we can give him a forgive for that last effort. He was ridden a fair bit close, and it just didn't really suit his race pattern. So I think they'll ride him a bit quieter from gate 12. They'll probably have their hand forced to do that anyway from that gate. You can see the horse's coat is absolutely superb. He's a lovely horse, very strong. They did have some bandages on him last time I saw him, but not today. Nice strong chest on him. He's fit. He does carry a little bit of substance to him. I think he looks really well, and I like the way he's walking out.
And here we go with the favourite, Jenny, Rapid Dragon. And how does he look compared to how you've seen him earlier on in the series?
Now, I've got to get myself through the crowd here to go over and find him, so it just might take me a couple of seconds to get to him, but he's always a striking horse when you see him. He's got a couple of handlers on him here, and his coat looks absolutely superb. He looks to be walking out nicely. He's got plenty of overall strength about him as well. And he's as fit and tough looking as he could possibly be. Beautiful walk on him. He looks fantastic.
Certainly does. Jenny always plays a blinder to get these horses for you and give you her comments about them, but it really is quite tough to get in amongst the people here. It's really very, very crowded here in the parade ring prior to the Derby. The next, Jenny, is Pakistan Star, the internet sensation.
Yeah, Pakistan. Well, he's the crowd favourite. There's no doubt about that. And let's hope we can see that exciting finish that we know that he possesses. Pakistan Star is beautifully behaved in the parade once again here. He's just having a big look around at the crowd. He's sort of got used to the notoriety now, I feel. He looks in pretty good order. He's walking out perfectly okay. He's an athletic type. His coat remains in good order. So there's nothing wrong with Pakistan Star if you like him.
And of course,
nice shot of
Sosa flies in for the riders as well. And here's Seasons Bloom. No bigger fan of Seasons Bloom than me, but I just couldn't quite find a place for him this afternoon.
Seasons Bloom, yeah. Look, he's been very, very consistent, hasn't he? I just wonder whether or not he might be a better miler than a 2,000-metre horse. He's not an overly strong-bodied horse, 1,034 pounds, but he's neatly put together, and he's got a beautiful attitude as well, really fluent in his walking action, nice and alert. So I think he parades particularly well, but he's not as strong, certainly not as strong as Rapid Dragon, that's for sure.
Well, he gets gate 1, so he's got every chance of being positioned where he needs to be in the run. Certainly, have to remember here at Sha Tin, there's a pretty short run to that first bend over 2,000 metres, so getting yourself into a good position tactically is very important, as we can... I think Donnie Yen just pushing us out of the way here, Andrew.
With good reason as well. Gold Mount is who we move on to, though, Jenny. And, well, 1 from 1, you can't say better than that, can you?
No, you can't. Now, this fellow came with really good UK form, and he's only a little horse. He only weighs in at 974 pounds. He's actually dropped 26 pounds. So there's not a great deal of him, but and because of that, I can't even see him at this stage. So I will get to him, and I will give you a better idea of how he parades. I know Tony Cruz is pretty happy with this fellow. He's described him as, you know, a very little horse with a massive engine. You can see how quiet and relaxed he is. He's nice and fluent in his walking action, and he looks good. He looks good for a little fella. He looks very well.
Donnie's just about closest to asking for his tip at the moment. Of course, the BMW Hong Kong Derby ambassador, but there's a throng of photographers in front of us. We might have to save that. Limitless, the next one we see, Jenny. He's come up very short, but again, he's been pretty good since he's arrived here.
He has. He's a bit of an awkward walking horse behind. He puts that off hind down a bit awkwardly, and he sort of splays a little bit at the back. He's a tall, sort of rangy type. He's very fit looking. I think he is walking out okay. His attitude's a bit better. He's not as tense as I've seen him in the past, and he does look particularly fit. So quite a quirky horse. He can do a little bit wrong in his racing, but he certainly looks fit enough. Just that off hind is a little off-putting.
Winner of the Britannia Stakes at Royal Ascot when known as Defrocked. And he's come here to Hong Kong and settled in pretty quickly. That's Limitless. The next is Booming Delight, another horse who's been imported from the UK, who's gone very well since he's come to Hong Kong. He
really has, hasn't he? It's a different avenue that he's taken getting into the Derby here. Not happy with the other Marfu next to him. He's got the ears back. I don't know that he likes him all that much. It's a bit unfair, isn't it? But that's how it looks. He's healthy enough, though, and walking out nice and cleanly. Strong-bodied horse as well, but he's a bit sour at the moment.
Yeah, he doesn't look like he's on his... enjoying his time at the moment, does he? But Ryan Moore, of course, flies in, and there he is, getting last-minute instructions, taking over from Sam Clipperton this afternoon. He's a course and distance winner, Booming Delight, and he's won his last 3. He's really fought his way into this Derby field. Wasn't bought as a Derby horse. It's a nice surprise to have, though, when you find out you've actually got one. Prawn Barbar, Jenny, the next one you see. You like him as far as form at a long shot sort of price. How's he looking? Yeah,
look, obviously he's got to really step up a big notch here to be competitive with Rapid Dragon, the likes of Rapid Dragon. But the thing about him is he's got the miles in the legs with John Size. He's had plenty of racing. He hasn't done much wrong in each of his races, and I think he parades really well. Nice and fluent in his walking action, looks really good. So I'd leave him there with a chance, an each-way chance on looks. Yeah, Craig Williams takes him out. A horse has already made history, of course, being the 8th leg of that 8-timer for Joe Moreira a couple of weeks ago. The next is Helene Charisma, who was Mount Ormel, won the Grand Prix de Paris in France during the last European season. Yeah, another beautiful type, this guy as well. He's a colt. He's behaving himself quite nicely. He's got the strong neck on him, and he's walking out beautifully. He's got a little bit of charisma about him, actually, so he's quite well named. He looks good. He's one of number in the race. Will certainly appreciate getting up in trip here to the 2,000 metres. And there is Douglas White. Of course, we've talked throughout the course this afternoon. Many Derby successes. Most recently, I suppose, Akeed Mafid when he was on board there for Richard Gibson. My darling, the next one we see. Possible pace angle here. Karis Teaton on board for John Size. Yep, this fellow is sort of a tall, rangy type, fairly long-bodied horse. He needs a little bit of loosening up in front. It's only very minor, but I love his casual, laid-back attitude. I think he looks in great health as well, and he's particularly fit. So I don't think he'll disgrace the way he parades. He's certainly well. Yeah, winner of 4 of his 9 Hong Kong starts, my darling. 1 of 3 in the race
for trainer John Size. Horse number 12 is Dinozo. He's getting gate 2 for his Derby date this afternoon. I think he can position up quite well.
Dinozo, yeah, another one of the smaller types in this particular field. He's sort of thinking he might have been a good solid chance in the Derby a few runs ago, but I've dropped off of that a little bit. I just think it's probably going to be a bit tough for him against a few of these now. I thought he was sort of continuing to improve. Now, as I said, a small horse, but a very fluent walking horse. He looks nice and healthy in his coat once again. And he might have even strengthened an upper fraction just since the last time I saw him as well. So he's not bad, maybe a rough place chance.
5 lengths off Rapid Dragon last time out. The step up in trip will certainly suit him as well. Rodrigo, last year's winning colours. Sam Clipperton on board.
Yeah, Rodrigo is quite a nice individual as well. He's got a little bit of height and strength about him. He's been behaving himself beautifully throughout this parade here as well. Another one, he just might need to loosen marginally in front. He hasn't done a great deal since he's been here, so he still needs to lift a bit. But a nice natured horse and not bad.
We're photo bombing Donnie Yen here at the moment, myself and Andrew. That's horse number 13, Rodrigo. And the last is going to be Circuit Hassler, Jenny, one who may go forward.
Yeah, he's another one that, I think it's going to be beyond him here, but the horse is very strong. He's a little bit on edge. He's just been kicking out every now and again as well. Strong enough hind-quartered horse, so he's feeling quite good about himself, but maybe a little agitated as well at the same time. So I'm happy to go with others.
Yeah, it's getting very busy down here. There's a definite buzz around the parade ring, but Circuit Hassler seems to get a little bit on his toes. We're seeing Pakistan Star again because he's the best turned out as far as the Derby is concerned. So they go home with one prize, if nothing else. Pakistan Star, the best turned out here for the Derby.
Absolutely, so winning a nice prize for
number
his
4 for our viewers as well. Eagle Way, he's a strange sort of walking horse. He sort of flings those front feet out when he walks, but he's beautiful and quiet, and he's very, very fit looking horse as well. So he parades nicely.
OK, then well, Jenny will get a top 4 for the Derby sorted out very shortly, but meantime we'll get up to Paul with the news that Rapid Dragon is very much odds on now.
He's coming to 1.8 just as you spoke, John. There's plenty of support for him. The second favourite's now Pakistan Star at 7.2, Gold Mount at 7.7, so they're all drifting out. Limitless is currently at $9. Then we go 13 about Eagle Way and 14 about Booming Delight. As you get down towards the bottom of the page, number 9 downwards, they're all 40 to 1 plus. Prawn Barber 48, Dinozo's 45, Helene Charisma 58. Seasons Bloom, who's run second in the first couple, he's at 33, but it's all about Rapid Dragon at this stage as far as the pundit's concerned at 1.8.
There we go. Didn't get close enough, unfortunately, to Donnie to get his tip, but how are they looking from the eye, Jenny?
Well, Rapid Dragon, it's very hard to go past him, isn't it? You've got to look at him yourself. He was beautifully behaved. He's such a strong horse. He's got really good muscle strength everywhere, and he paraded beautifully. I think he's going to be very hard to beat. So he goes on top for me from number 9, Prawn Barber. He looks really good. I love his fluency. He's a very sensible type of horse as well. So I think from his gait, he's going to get a nice run with Craig Williams on board there. I thought the 3 Pakistan Star paraded nicely. He parades pretty well nearly every single time as well. So I think the extra distance is going to suit him, and he should come with that whirlwind run at the end of the race as well. And then the 10, Helene Charisma, I thought he paraded quite nicely as well. Going into this, he was nicely behaved. He is an entai or a colt, but he does look really strong and well, so he goes in order for me 1, 9, 3 and 10.
Rapid Dragon on top as they make their way down to the start and parade in front of the grandstand. There's a Pakistan Star, best turnout. He'll get home, he'll flash home. Great lineup here, Brett, for the Derby, and whatever your top 4 are, you're leaving some good horses out.
Absolutely, Andrew. Yes, it's a wonderful edition of the BMW Hong Kong Derby, but Rapid Dragon, he's been the heavyweight right before the series started on a rating of 114. He's done everything right in the Classic Mile, the Classic Cup. Can he run the 2,000 metres? I think he can. He's got the wood on these. I think there's a lot of horses in this race that potentially will get to the mark of 114, but he's already there. He's the king of the 4-year-old series at this stage. He just needs to take the throne now and be crowned the overall champion of the 4-year-old series. I think he'll do it from barrier number 4. I expect him to be 1 out, 2 back, 3 back, hitting the front with about a furlong to go, holding off the challenge from Pakistan Star, who certainly tested him in the Classic Cup. He's a terrific horse, electrifying turn of acceleration. I think he'll do best of the rest. Eagle Way's had the perfect prep. Bit of cushion in the track will be to his advantage, and Booming Delight's done very little wrong. A different course to the Derby for him, but he's had some experience already over this trip. I expect him to go forward. 1, 3, 4, 8 for me in the Derby.
Pretty similar to you, Brett. Yeah, it's very hard to go past Rapid Dragon. I do like him. He's got the ideal draw. He should settle in nicely and be tough to beat. Eagle Way, I think, has been really well set for this race. Tommy Berry, a big race rider aboard. I think he can run second. Pakistan Star will be coming home late. And my roughie in the race is Helene Charisma. Just liked his last gallop before he comes into this race. He's dropped 16 pounds for it as well, and he's a 60-1 chance, so he'll add a bit of value to the exotics. But as I see it, is 1, 4, 3, 10, guys.
Yeah, I've come up with the same first three as Paul and Brett. Rapid Dragon, there he's on screen. He looked an absolute picture in the paddock. Yes, the 2,000 metres might be a slight concern, but he's a class horse. In time, it might well be that he's just drops back to a mile, but I think he's probably good enough to win this over the 2,000 metres as well. Having said that, it's certainly not a walk in the park. Pakistan Star is going to be finishing hard and late. He's going to make him work for it, as will Eagle Way. They're the two big closers. Gold Mount, well, he brings a fresh form line in here. He's a winner over 1.5 miles in the UK, so certainly the 2,000 metres, all his best work he'll be doing late. 1, 3, 4 and 6, but I really wish I could work Seasons Bloom in there, but I couldn't.
Well, I have, funnily enough.
Oh,
so
good.
He's on the third line for me, same cue. But yeah, Seasons Bloom, he's been second and third in the first two legs of the 4-year-old series. So I think he certainly merits consideration here. He's got a good draw as well, and I see no reason why he can't be, well, certainly there or thereabouts. And the fourth selection is number 12, Dinoza. Needs to step up on what he's done so far, but he's got a good draw. The further they go, the better for him. He's probably going to make up into a horse who's going to want the full 2,400 metres here in Hong Kong. But if they go a gallop here, it's not absolutely certain they will, but if they do, he should position up quite nicely to take advantage of that, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see him run a decent race at a big price. So 1, 3, 5 and 12.
Hard to go past him, isn't it? Number 1, Rapid Dragon here with the highest rating, 114 rating he's got. He looks an absolute treat. He's looked a treat nearly every single time I've seen him. He's such a nice, strong individual. So he's on top for me. From the 9, Prawn Barber, nice and relaxed behind the gates with Craig Williams on him there. He looks in good shape too. He looks really, really fit and healthy. The 3, Pakistan Star, looks good. Just hope he doesn't do anything silly from gate 13. Yeah. Obviously, he's best ridden when he's just allowed to flop out of the gates and just find his own rhythm. But because that start is there where they often come back in from their racing, he's just a bit of a quirky horse, so just keep an eye on him at the start there. And of the rest, well, he's still looking a treat, so he goes in. And then the 10, Helene Charisma, I thought he paraded really nicely. He's only had the 3 starts here, so he needs to lift a little bit, awkwardly drawn in gate 14, but the horse looks very well. So 1, 9, 3 and 10 for me. And my long shot is Prawn Barber, and he looks well. Yeah,
well, very best of luck with him. He's going out at decent odds here. Paul, a check on the market and odds-on favourites. We've had plenty of odds-on favourites in the Derby in the past, and they've saluted as well. Most recently, Akid Mafid, and Designs on Rome was odds-on as well when he put one. Yeah,
well, Akid Mafid in those colours you just saw on screen a second ago, Gold Mount, but a Rapid Dragon coming in now, we're on to 1.7. Every time we have a look, he's come in 1 more point. So 1.7 currently for the favourite, Rapid Dragon. Pakistan Star steady there at 7.4. Gold Mount on the drift at 8.4. Limitless, there's a lot of money earlier on for him. He's back on the drift now. He's out to 11, so they're double figures about everything else now other than those 3 horses. 14 about Eagle Way. He's also slightly drifting. Beauty Generation's coming a little bit. He got out to 25. He's now 22. Seasons Bloom there at 28. As I speak, money coming for Prawn Barber at a massive price. He's now into 38 and $7.90 a place, and has been backed in a few of the Quinellas, along with Rodrigo at a massive price, and Circuit Hasler. But they're just cherry picking some massive prices there.
Down at the start then, right in front of the grandstand here, the 2,000 metre start, a short run to this first turn. So if a fancied horse had drawn badly, it could be tricky, but the favourite Rapid Dragon, you'd think just slots in probably 4th or 5th spot. I think so. It looks like he should get a very, very nice run. Of course, all the jockeys will be well aware of this short price favourite as well, with Joe on board. So they all know that he's probably the horse to beat, so they'll be very conscious of that throughout this event. There was a few years ago, John, Collection won this race as an odds-on favourite, mind you. Got back, Darren Beedman, very bold, wasn't he, Jenny? Big mid-race move, swooped around him, almost Happy Valley style. Well, yeah, if there's no pace, could you see someone trying something like that?
Absolutely, it would be a bold move, and you're taking your life in your hands a little bit. But yeah, I don't see why not. There are one or two that would not really like it at Dordle. So if they're doing that in the early stages, why not? Certainly, it would be a legitimate thing to do. And just as we speak, they're setting up the presentation rostrum for after the event. That Derby trophy's quite a picture.
Yeah, so normally it'd be down in front of the grandstand, just with the weather this afternoon. It'll be down here in the parade ring as well. So we've got a ringside seat at the moment.
Yeah.
We're lucky to have some standing room left, actually. They keep moving us around a touch.
Slowly getting moved out of the way. Right on start side, Paul, there's a bit of an action there in the market.
Yeah, Seasons Bloom is a late hit on him at 25. Beauty Generation continues to come in. He's into 20, and Prawn Barbar into 37. So bigger odds are those three, and there's a lot of the Quinellas have been backed. It's sort of really big odd Quinellas, just maybe taking on the $1.70 slightly of Rapid Dragon. But while all these horses are coming in, Rapid Dragon has been very, very steady, and if anything, is shortening even more. He's $1.70 a win, $1.10 a place.
Not too far away then from a start. Beauty Generation on screen. A little bit disappointing last time out, but given an opportunity to bounce back. I think John said on Racing to Win John Moore that he'd be ridden a little bit more patiently.
I think that's the way to ride him as well. I think he's much better suited in that respect. So from gate 12, I think they're hands forced anyway to go back, and it should suit him, but he'll need some speed on, as a few of the others will as well. Of course, Pakistan Star, how will the crowd be if he just gets the revs going, heading into the straight as well?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a very exciting event.
Certainly will be. If they go a pace and he's sort of 4 or 5 lengths away turning for home, they can definitely kick in those turbos. De
Sosa's got rides at Kempton tomorrow afternoon.
Really?
So if they win, I'm not sure what time his flight is, but it'll be a quick celebration for him if he's...
Might be 1 or 2 jockey changes at Kempton tomorrow if that's the case.
We will see. We'll let him get across the line first. But yeah, half saddle will travel for Sylvester de Sosa. More money coming here for Beauty Generation, trims up, and Seasons Bloom at 24. And at decent odds as well, Jenny. Prawn Barbar continues to trim up.
Yes, he is trimming up a little bit. Well, he won't mind a little bit of give in the ground either, I feel. So he's still got to step up a lot to equal it with Rapid Dragon, but at those sort of odds, and the barrier is drawn with Craig on, I think he's going to get himself a nice run.
Okay, then.
Yeah, the first ones are moving in. Seasons Bloom, one of the first. As they start to move in. The 2,000 metres start, and Brett, we're about to find out if we'll get history with Rapid Dragon, but ultimately who's going to join this long, illustrious list of Derby winners.
Thanks very much, Andrew. Yes, runners are starting to move into the gates here for the running of the BMW Hong Kong Derby, the 140th running of the Derby, and Rapid Dragon is the short price favourite as they commence to move into the gates. Big crowd assembled here at Sha Tin, as you would expect. The weather's been overcast and gloomy all day. At the moment, the rain has stopped. We're on a good yielding surface. Helene Charisma coming into the gates. Rapid Dragon, 1.7 favourite, 7.2 about Pakistan Star, 8.5 for Gold Mount. Late support, Beauty Generation, Seasons Bloom, Prawn Barbar and Donoso. Rapid Dragon about to move into the gates. Donoso goes forward. Limitless and Circuit Hassler. So we're just about set for the feature for the 4-year-olds. The BMW Hong Kong Derby, to the roar of the crowd. They're loaded. They're racing. And Limitless and Prawn Barbar a little slow out. Straight away, Pakistan Star out the back with Helene Charisma. Rapid Dragon, favourite, began fast. He's prominent. My Darling scorches across and heads them up early. Circuit Hassler rolls over to join him in second, and Rodrigo's gone into third. Rapid Dragon perfectly placed through the first 200 or 300. He's on the outside of Seasons Bloom, the rail. A length away to Donoso, who settles on the outside of Prawn Barbar. Beauty Generation's caught 3 deep on the outside of Booming Delight, and then Limitless, who's a little keen back in the field. Trailed by Gold Mount, then a length and a half to Helene Charisma. Second last is Eagle Way, and Pakistan Star is last of all as Light Rain starts to fall. in the Derby of 2017, approaching the 1200, and the sparks are on early with Rodrigo now zooming up to pressure My Darling for the lead. It's Rodrigo, a narrow margin over My Darling. Circuit Hassler position third. Rapid Dragon favourite now fourth on the inside of Beauty Generation, who got in for some cover. Donozo's now moving three deep, trailed by Gold Mount, then Booming Delight. Season's Bloom has been shuffled back from Helene Charisma. Limitless, then Prawn Barbar. Eagle Way second last, and Pakistan Star is last of all. They're inside the 800 metres in the Derby, and Donozo now goes up to pour on more pressure into Rodrigo. My Darling is third. Circuit Hassler fourth. Morera gives Rapid Dragon a little niggle, and he responds quickly, charging into fifth. Beauty Generation, then Booming Delight, Season's Bloom, Limitless. Pakistan Star is well back, sticking to the inside. They corner in, and they turn for home in the Derby, and Rapid Dragon quickly accelerates and races up to take the lead. Beauty Generation, Circuit Hassler, Season's Bloom, Pakistan Star, Rapid Dragon 250 out clear. Beauty Generation, Pakistan Star, the turbo's been turned on, then Season's Bloom, Rapid Dragon, Pakistan Star's eating up the ground. Rapid Dragon in front from Pakistan Star. The puzzle now complete. Rapid Dragon takes the Derby from Pakistan Star. Beauty Generation and Season's Bloom. Then Helene Charisma from Eagle Way and Prawn Barbar. Circuit Hassler, followed by Gold Mount, Booming Delight, My Darling, Donozo, then Rodrigo, and Limitless, one of the last. It's history here at Sha Tin. Rapid Dragon, the unrivaled star of his generation, has won the BMW 2017 Hong Kong Derby. Pakistan Star, terrific in defeat. Beauty Generation and Season's Bloom for third and fourth. But it's a clean sweep for Rapid Dragon as he roars away with the Derby for Joe Morera. A sixth Derby for John Moore, a first for Joe. It's 1-3-2, 1-3-2, 5 is fourth, 1 3/4 by 1 3/4, 22.88. Brilliant in the Classic Cup, awesome in the Classic Mile. Astonishing to win the 4-year-old Classic Series. To the roar of the crowd, they're loaded. They're racing, and Limitless and Prawn Barbar a little slow out. Straight away, Pakistan Star out the back with Helene Charisma. Rapid Dragon, favourite, began fast, he's prominent. My Darling scorches across and heads them up early. Circuit Hassler rolls over to join him in second, and Rodrigo's gone into third. Rapid Dragon perfectly placed through the first 200 or 300. He's on the outside of Season's Bloom, the rail. A length away to Donozo, who settles on the outside of Prawn Barbar. Beauty Generation's caught three deep on the outside of Booming Delight, and then Limitless, who's a little keen back in the field. Trailed by Gold Mount, then a length and a half to Helene Charisma. Second last is Eagle Way, and Pakistan Star is last of all as light rain starts to fall. In the Derby of 2017, approaching the 1200, and the sparks are on early with Rodrigo now zooming up to pressure My Darling for the lead. It's Rodrigo, a narrow margin over My Darling. Circuit Hassler position third. Rapid Dragon favourite now fourth on the inside of Beauty Generation, who got in for some cover. Donozo's now moving three deep, trailed by Gold Mount, then Booming Delight. Season's Bloom has been shuffled back from Helene Charisma. Limitless, then Prawn Barbar. Eagle Way second last, and Pakistan Star is last of all. They're inside the 800 metres in the Derby, and Donozo now goes up to pour on more pressure into Rodrigo. My Darling is third. Circuit Hassler fourth. Morera gives Rapid Dragon a little niggle, and he responds quickly, charging into fifth. Beauty Generation, then Booming Delight, Season's Bloom, Limitless. Pakistan Star is well back, sticking to the inside. They corner in, and they turn for home in the Derby, and Rapid Dragon quickly accelerates and races up to take the lead. Beauty Generation, Circuit Hassler, Season's Bloom, Pakistan Star, Rapid Dragon 250 out clear. Beauty Generation, Pakistan Star, the turbo's been turned on, then Season's Bloom, Rapid Dragon, Pakistan Star's eating up the ground. Rapid Dragon in front from Pakistan Star. The puzzle now complete. Rapid Dragon takes the Derby from Pakistan Star.
Yes, all 3 legs of the 4-year-old series taken out by Rapid Dragon. There was a wonderful moment there, Jenny, as they sort of came into the final 400. A huge roar from the crowd as the favourite asserted.
Oh, no doubt. And Joe's very emotional. Have a look at him there. He is really emotional. That's his 4th winner of the day, and what a way to do it in such style on this magnificent racehorse, Rapid Dragon. Fantastic performance. He gave him an outstanding ride, as we know he is capable of and can do and always does. So it's great to see.
There was just a moment about 250 out where Rapid Dragon just veered away sort of off a true line for a stride or two. And Pakistan Star was sort of weaving his way between horses. He was really beginning to get going. We just thought the leader might be vulnerable, but then when he got him back on a straight and true line, he went away again.
Well, John Moore has been quite vocal about how good this horse is. He said he's the next best thing that's going to be here in Hong Kong, and he's so right. You can see the quality of this horse. He's now stretched him to 2,000. He's done that, and he's won he's not by a small margin. It's 1 3/4 lengths in the end, with a little bit of a rain-affected track as well.
Yeah. And as an aside, Joe Moreira's taken out the Jockey Challenge with 64 points. For the record, though, 1, 3, 2 and 5. The numbers in the frame there, Paul. Quick round about the dividends.
Yeah, $18, $1.15 for a place, $1.85 for the second horse, and $3.65 for Beauty Generation. The Quinella 1 and 3 returns $54, with Pakistan Star running second. The trio 1, 2, 3, $216, and the TS 1, 3, 2, $643. So fantastic win there for Rapid Dragon, and massive smiles all around, as you can expect.
Certainly was. John Moore and Joe Moreira, no strangers to winning big prizes here in Hong Kong, but they have, well, they don't lose any enthusiasm for it. The novelty hasn't worn off, and as you said, Jenny, Joe was getting really rather emotional, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. Well, he said that, I think he was quoted in the paper that if he wins the Derby, you won't see him for a week, but that's not like Joe, because he's not a big party man. But it's just great to see, and it's obviously a race that means a great deal to he, and all the work he's done on this horse as well.
Yeah, certainly. Remember when he flopped out the barriers back end of last season and absolutely charged home. There was the thought that this horse was a bit better than the ordinary, and he's proved that in no uncertain terms here, beating Pakistan Star again in defeat. Has run a very good race, Jenny.
He was held up a few times. He actually had a few little excuses as well. He might have been able to finish just a touch closer. I don't think he probably would have beaten the favourite, but what a mighty performance, and what a horse he's been, and everyone loves him, and he didn't shirk the task either. He really tried his heart out.
He certainly didn't. Noticeable when you see the patrol footage as well, and you've seen in the race too, that he didn't go right round the outside to loop them. They wanted to try and stick to near enough the inside to Sousa, so it was in that respect it was a bold move, because it's not normally one that he's tried, but he was finding plenty in the latter stages, and given his breeding, he might be able to make up into a sort of Champions and Chater horse, Hong Kong Vase sort of a horse, because he'll certainly love every inch of that trip.
It was a really nice run there for them, a 10-horse Helene Charisma as well. Yeah. He got well back in the race. He also got held up at vital stages, and likewise, he wouldn't have beaten the winner, but he would have finished a fair bit closer. Well,
the cut in the track has probably helped him, and it was a very good effort. Seasons Bloom, of course, running well. Again, he's now finished second, third and fourth in the 3 legs of the 4-year-old series, and he can't really complain about that if you were his connections.
Not at all. Well, John Moore will be a very, very happy man after that. A lot of pressure goes onto these trainers in these big races. He's used to it. He's had plenty of good horses. He's won plenty of these derbies in the past as well. So I think he'd be quite proud of himself now. He will be. It'll be interesting to see, or get a chat with him to see where this fellow rates vis-a-vis his other Derby winners of the past. He certainly thinks very highly of him. Beauty Generation, a nice enough performance from him as well. 3 wide, no cover, just in the early stages, and then off the pace. I thought he paraded nicely enough, and he looks like he's going to be picking up his races as well. It was a solid enough performance from him at his 5th race start here in Hong Kong. Yeah, he stayed on very well. We're getting moved around here again. We're getting moved around for Donnie Yen before the race, and now we're getting moved around for the presentation ceremony, which is going to take place here in between the BMWs in the parade ring. That's all right. We're okay at the back. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, we get shunted to one side. But there we go. There's quite a few people in here going to be watching that wonderful old trophy to be given out. There's plenty of nice trophies for the minor positions as well. So it's going to be a nice presentation. And we'll see Rapid Dragon making his way into the parade ring very shortly to take the plaudits of all the fans here who are still waiting along the side of the parade ring. Well, I don't know if there were too many other excuses for the rest. As I said, I thought Pakistan Star had a few little excuses there, and Helene Charisma. Donoso was 4 wide, no cover, covered a fair bit of ground, sort of up there as well. So he might have had an excuse. And Rodrigo was 3 wide, no cover early as well.
Well, they didn't make a sort of proper mid-race move with him, but it was noticeable that his jockey seemed to want to go a bit faster, Sam Clipperton, aboard Rodrigo, and he went to the front down the far side, but in the end couldn't sustain it.
Well, the highest rated horses have run first, second and third there, so that just proves it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, when our handicapping team are relaxing this evening, they can pat themselves on the back that they got that right anyway. And Rapid Dragon, who was, just to carry on the handicapping theme, rated £14, 14 ratings points better than any other horse in the field. Well, he's kind of proved it, hasn't he, over these, well, here today in the Derby and over the other 2 legs of the 4-year-old series. There's John Moore and son George just congratulating one another again, and the Derby hero, Rapid Dragon, making his way into the parade ring.
Well, he's got a good attitude, this fellow too, hasn't he, John? Nothing really phases him with the noise of the crowd, everything like that. He seems to take it all in his stride. He looks like he's pulled up really nicely too. Yeah. Well,
there's plenty of distractions here, plenty of flash bombs going off. It's a fairly dull day here at Sha Tin, so they are lighting up the proceedings here. A couple of BMW cars for him to think about as well. It's not quite the same as the usual presentation area here at Sha Tin, but he's now, as has been said, he's mixing it with the top class. He's probably going to have to get used to these high-profile presentation ceremonies.
Well, John, these BMW cars here in the parade ring, they are absolutely magnificent. Have you had a chance to have a look? I
haven't had a look, no. Somewhat envious if I did, but yeah, they're very nice. Used to drive a BMW many years ago in the UK, but it wasn't quite as nice as the 2 that are here, but very reliable, though.
Well, this fellow goes just as fast, if not faster, doesn't he?
Certainly over 2,000 metres in the early part anyway, and he's had a fantastic season, and this is the crowning glory of that fantastic season.
This is quite a nice way to do it, isn't it? With the crowd here and around the parade ring, everyone give him a round of applause. They get to see the horse again.
That's great, yeah. And there's a huge crowd in even just the parade ring here at Sha Tin. This is a fairly regular thing. Every meeting there are lots of people in the parade ring, but aside from those that are sitting in the seated area, there are 3 or 4 deep in the standing areas at the back there, watching the presentation of the 2017 BMW Hong Kong Derby winner, Rapid Dragon.
Big congratulations to his owner there, Albert Hong.
Yeah, well, we thought he might do the double with Invincible Dragon. That didn't quite eventuate in the end, but that's another very good young horse he's got coming through. But this is the star of the show at the moment, and well, he's just getting a little bit nervous now, but he took the vast majority of that in his stride.
Well, Joe will make his way over to the podium here. There's Tassiana, his wife.
Yes. That's great to see. As you said, he's not much of a party animal, but it might be.
He might have a glass of champagne.
Absolutely. Why not? Why not?
I think he put a really good video out when he won the 8 races of him having a little glass of champagne to celebrate that, and so he should have. Yeah. But you can see he's once again quite emotional. Yep.
Well, good for him. It shows that the novelty doesn't wear off, and as you can hear, the tears from Joe Moreira are getting quite a reception here in the parade ring. They love him here. He's only been here 3.5 seasons, but he really has been propelled to the ranks of all-time greats here in Hong Kong, if not the greatest rider who's ever ridden here.
I think one of the all-time greats in the world.
各位來賓，寶馬香港打比大賽頒獎儀式現在開始。
Ladies and gentlemen, the trophy presentation of the BMW Hong Kong Derby will now commence.
各位馬迷係咪好興奮啊？本年度馬壇至高榮譽2017年度寶馬香港打比大賽新一代強者啱啱誕生，係由佳龍區獲得冠軍㗎，亦都係史上第一隻馬可以喺4歲馬經典系列3關贏晒，恭喜晒！而家有請我哋會主席葉石安博士就將獎杯同埋鍍金碟 分別頒俾我哋勝出頭馬佳龍區嘅馬主洪祖航先生。Dr. Simon Ib is now presenting the BMW Hong Kong Derby Trophy and gold-plated dish to Mr. Albert Hong Hong, the owner of Rapid Dragon, who has won all 3 legs of the 4-year-old Classic Series, first time in history. Congratulations！ 繼續我哋有請主席將其餘2隻鍍金碟分別頒俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅練馬師約翰摩亞同埋騎師莫雷拉。Dr. Simon Ib is now presenting the gold-plated dishes to winning trainer John Moore and jockey Joao Moreira. This is John Moore's 6th Hong Kong Derby win and the first win for Joao Moreira for the Hong Kong Derby. Congratulations！ 繼續我哋有請寶馬集團香港、澳門及台灣進口業務部副總裁孔佳文先生致送紀念品俾我哋勝出頭馬佳龍區嘅馬主洪祖航先生。咁佢嘅千金咧就代領嘅。Mr. Kevin Kuhn, Vice President of the BMW Group Importer Office, Hong Kong, Macau and Taiwan, is now presenting a souvenir to the daughter of Mr. Albert Hong Hong, the owner of winning horse Rapid Dragon。好，繼續咧，我哋就係有請咧，我哋寶馬汽車香港有限公司董事總經理劉家輝先生咧，就致送紀念品俾我哋勝出頭馬嘅練馬師約翰摩亞㗎。最後我哋有請寶馬香港打比大使甄子丹先生致送紀念品俾我哋勝出嘅騎師莫雷拉。Mr. Donnie and BMW Hong Kong Derby Ambassador is now presenting a souvenir to our winning jockey Joao Moreira. That was sensational! Let's all take a photo together. 一齊影返幅大合照啊！ We made history today. Congratulations to our winning owner, trainer and jockey. 恭喜晒！各位馬迷，我哋寶馬香港打比大賽頒獎儀式嚟到呢度已經係圓滿結束。恭喜晒！佳龍區咧就係力壓群雄，成為我哋今年打比大賽嘅盟主啊！This is the end of presentation. Once again, congratulations and bye bye.